To peoples of the Middle East, the jinn are more than tricksters. Said to inhabit a spiritual hierarchy just below the angels, they may take possession of human beings, or even of inanimate objects. Hence their association with being trapped in certain lamps of brass. But their most fantastic power may be their ability to pierce the veil between their own dimension and ours. The paranormal investigative team of Gailey and Imbrogno believe this ancient class of spirit to be interdimensional beings. As the co-author of The Vengeful Jinn, Philip Imbrogno arrived in Saudi Arabia in 2010 to conduct research for the book. He was about to go through customs in the airport when the inspecting officer commanded a pair of guards to provide escort for Philip to a holding area. Fortunately, it was the royal family who flagged his passport for the purpose of inviting him to a state dinner that evening. When the prince was unable to attend, Philip was entertained that night by the prince's cousin, Mahmoud, the Minister of Culture. Having ignored the researcher for most of the meal, suddenly, His Excellency turned to Imbrogno and said, "You are American. Why are you in my country?" Philip said he had come to study the jinn. "The jinn," said the minister. "I can tell you about them. They are here, they come into my country, and your government is trying to capture them." Mahmoud went on to explain. He knew there were several governments, including his own, cooperating jointly in a black operation. It was the mission of this black op to capture one of the jinn and obtain their technology for crossing the dimensional barrier. Imbrogno then asked if one had already been caught. The minister said, "To that information I am not privy. The security is too high. But I can tell you who to ask to learn about the jinn." Philip was taken to a building which once had been a mosque to meet a holy man. Through a translator, Imbrogno learned from the holy man of an enormous cave in the country of Oman. The cave was called the meeting place of the jinn. This meeting place allowed the spirits easy entrance to our world, but it also held them captive there. Philip was determined to investigate the cave. He was told he would need climbing gear to descend into the cavern, and without hesitation he mounted a small expedition. But fate would intervene before he was able to descend to its greatest depth. After being granted access to the cavern, he and his guide were rappelling down their ropes. But the guide heard voices of the jinn, commanding the interlopers to leave, and the excursion was abruptly cancelled. Not long after the disappointed researcher was hauled up to the mouth of the cave. In a village nearby, Imbrogno was speaking to an Arab teacher. The teacher spoke very good English, and he said that while hiking in the mountains one day, he met with a female jinn, who was accompanied by her child. The man was terrified, but the manifestations paid him no heed, passing him by. The teacher was about to catch his breath when military helicopters appeared overhead. Within minutes, a group of Saudi Arabian soldiers and American soldiers had detained him. The teacher was transported by air to a military base in the mountains. While being thoroughly debriefed on his encounter with the female jinn, one of his interrogators let slip that the Saudi government had been tracking the same entity for the purpose of capturing it. But the Arab would say no more to Philip and Brogno. He was more afraid of the government agents who were tracking the jinn than of the jinn itself.
فرمو قربان طوبان گشتت کردم یک دواکاری بلیو با جبتیکم
بس بکن من بیستومه خوی 3 دواکاریه
شتەکە من لێ گەورەمەکە
من تنها یک دواکاری جبتیکم وی تو یه لەقسەی فیلمە
باشە چاوەڕێ بە باڕایەژێ بکەین زۆر باشە لەبەرەوەی تۆ تەنها یەک داواکاری جێبەجێیەکەی بڕیارماندا ئۆفەری تایبەت دروستکەی بۆ بەشداربوانی ئاسیاسیاڵ بۆ هەتا
کی دەست پێ بکەین ئەستێرە 350 پۆنجەرە لێ بۆ منیش 5 ئۆفەری تایبەتت بە خۆت بۆ دێنم لە هەچ کات و لە هەچ شوێنێک ئازیز